guys, Foxy here. This will be part 7 of What If Izuku Was a Vigilante. Now guys, please remember that on my last episode, in the far end of the episode, I did explain about the Halloween special. I came up with two things. What if Izuku was a ghost, or what if Izuku was a zombie? I really want to know which ones you want me to do, or which one first. I am planning to do both of them. And also, guys, I will be doing, hopefully soon, I'm still working out the kinks for it, what if what if Naruto was the last man on Earth? I know one of you has been wanting that one very much recently. And I promise I will do it. I'm just trying to fix it. Because for me, I was off it for so long, I kind of lost, I did lose my spark for it. And I forgot why I really wanted to do that video. Because for me, I make these series for the fun of it, but I also want to put a meaning in there for you. Okay, if you think about it, in My Little Ponies, I don't know why I chose it, it just came off the top of my head. In each episode of My Little Ponies, there is a lesson to be learned. And for me, I want my series to hold that lesson. It's just something that will have you just thinking about, and hopefully have you see the world in a different way, or you just thinking, because for us, you only know about you, alright? This world is in your own POV, alright? I might think of someone differently than someone else thinking of that person. And that person I'm thinking about might think of me in a different way that I see myself. There are thousands of things that you look at and you don't actually look at. And I want my videos to actually help you see that. Because when I am looking at these other videos, other what ifs, I think to myself saying, oh, that would be cool. That would be a cool idea for a video to make. But then I'm also listening to a different audiobook or watching another video, and I can see that I can combine those two and make it into a lesson where it's fun to listen to, but it will also get you to think. I know I'm talking a bunch and you guys do not want to hear it. I just want you guys to understand my thought process, because I do these videos for fun, but I also do them for a reason. And that's why, that's one of the reasons why I'm redoing the videos for my last channel, because 1, I believe I can do better. 2, I can do something different. But I know you guys are not here, you do not want to listen to me ramble on, because I have a terrible habit of rambling and repeating. Also, guys, I want to know, does it sound like I have an accent? Because when I'm looking at my videos, the words sound weird. And when I'm saying them, they don't sound weird at all. But when I am listening, they kind of do. I don't know if that's just me speaking really fast, or it's that I have a accent that I was not aware of until I was listening. Please comment down below. I really need to know the answer of this. Oop, my treasure fell. I got it back. We're going to continue on where we left off on part 5. No, that was 6. Oopsie. So, our POV, it has been another year since Izuku lost everything. Actually, 2 years. A year since he became a vigilante. 2 since he lost everything. And Izuku changed. He was not repulsed from his hunger. He just saw it as another quirk about him. Just another thing you will have to deal with. But also, it's just something that it's him. There's nothing wrong with it. There must be a zombie quirk out there, a vampire quirk. There are his quirk just has requirements. And he is a kid who's all alone. And he's a vigilante. So why not take a few bites out of a few no-gooders? Bazuku, over the years, has been training hard. And now Daboga Beach, or known as the Trash Beach, is cleaned up. The sand is a pearly white, and the sun hits the water at a beautiful angle, making the water glisten with blue radiance. And the light would also hit the sand, making it glow as well. It was a beautiful sight. Izuku has also planted trees around the beach, hoping to bring more life. But he also brought life into the sea. Before, there were barely any coral reefs, but now there were so many, and so many fish were there as well. This little spot, this beach, was a paradise. It was beautiful and filled with life. Birds would chirp their beautiful melodies, and the wind would whoosh and have the trees rustle. This piece was life. Barely any people or cars would come by. It was peaceful here. But in Izuku's little hiding hole, it got bigger. More junk was piled up, and Izuku knew he had to move soon. He couldn't stay here. There was no cover for him. So, reluctantly, he got up. He packed everything, even though his dragon side screamed and hollered at him to stay. This was his home. No one could have it. But Izuku's human side said no, it was not his home. Home is with people that you love. The two thought processes hit each other like a brick wall. They never worked together. But Izuku, he knew he had to move. It was not safe to stay in one spot. He was a vigilante and a kid on his lonesome, a villain, a monster, a creature that should have never been born. Worthless, disgusting, waste of space creature that should have never even graced the earth. So Izuku did it, and wandered into the forest. He tried to stick to them. He didn't want no one seeing him, as his bare feet clawed into the earth as he moved himself forward. Izuku has not worn any shoes. Well, at least not when he is doing his vigilante work. When he's not doing them, he's barefoot. He feels a connection with the earth. He felt safe. And it felt natural just to walk with his own 2 feet, as his toes digged into the wet soil, as he felt life roll around him. It made him feel a part of nature. Soon Izuku was far, far away from the trash beach, or what was the trash beach. Now he was wandering. Step by step he kept walking until the sun was down and the moon was high. The stars shined with a radiance. But the moon was the biggest star out of them all. It cast its beautiful light on Izuku, and Izuku glowed with beauty and grace, as his hair also seemed to glow with beauty. It has grown longer, but also curlier and more untamed. But when you touched it, it was as soft as it looked. No, it was even softer, silkier. But Izuku's skin also looked so beautiful. Even though Izuku was 12, he was a beautiful boy. After all, he is a siren, and sirens are known for their beauty, for their grace, but they're also known for their viciousness and their cold heart. But Izuku was not that. He was not cold innocent. He was ruthless to the scum. But he is human. It's just his quirk. His quirk is what's affecting him. He's human, even though he's a monster, even though he did this. But now, after a complete day of walking, he found a place where he can fix, and that can become his beautiful home. There was a large lake, even though it was disgusting. No, Izuku would not be living in that, even though he wants to go in the water. But Izuku knew it was contaminated. It smelled so disgusting. He was good with. He knew which ones you should use while planting and benefit you and the environment around it. But Izuku did not need plants, even though they were useful. His voice could fix, could heal. Izuku learned this when he was messing around with the coral. He sang a few songs of happiness and freedom, and the coral grew. At first, Izuku didn't realize it, but after a few hours each day going there, he realized the coral was growing too fast. The coral grew big and wide with vibrant colors, and they also looked healthier and more alive. Izuku tested his voice. No, he couldn't clean water. He couldn't do that. Only water users or someone with a particular quirk like that could. But his voice could affect nature around it. Even though it was taxing on him, he could do it. And it was good quirk training after all. So, Izuku spent another few months in that spot. He sang and sang, and life grew around him as if it was on super speed or a bunch of steroids. The trees grew taller, the flowers bloomed with new radiance, and the beautiful lake, was now crystal clear, and fish, birds, and all different types of life lived within the lake. Here, there was another space of pure beauty. Deer, doe, and offspring would live, would grow and shine their own beauty on this little area. Izuku felt proud at himself. He was a vigilante, but he was also doing something for the earth. He was doing something for his home. Izuku never liked trash. He never really did like plastic either. It always smelled funky, always smelled so wrong, and so, disgusting, revolting, purely unnatural. He hated it. And his mom, his sweet mother, was so kind to get rid of all the plastic and just use glass or wood or metal, whichever one you want to choose. She used it and never ever got a plastic water bottle nor bag. She used yarn to make her bags. Yep, you heard it. She made her own bags. Izuku sighed at the memory. Izuku loved his mama. His mama was always so kind, so caring. And his pops. Oh, his pops loved him to death. But when his stepmother came into the picture, life was thrown into the deep end, left to sink and drown and never to be remembered. But Izuku got his vengeance. He got his retribution, but it did not fill in the hole in his chest that seems to grow day by day. Izuku was sad. He knew this, but he never acknowledged it. He was sad, lonely, and afraid. He was sad because he lost everything in everything. Lonely because he has no one around him to fill in the void in his chest that seems to grow like a cancer. And afraid because he does not know what else will life throw at him. Will he be caught and thrown into jail? Will he be executed? Will he... What will happen? Izuku always wanted answers. He never liked being in the dark. He did not mind change, but he hated when there was not a plan. He hated going with the flow. The flow had too many variables in it where it could cost you your life. And when Izuku did not know what would happen to him when he got caught, yeah, Izuku knew one day he would be caught. He knew. It was sooner or later. Izuku preferred later. He wanted his freedom. He wanted to fly like a bird, wings not sewn together. He wanted to be free to live the life he wanted. But Izuku knew he would never, ever get that freedom. He will always be the pretty little bird stuck in a cage, never meant to fly, never meant to see the world. Never meant to live its own little life. But at least Izuku is free now, able to see the world. But it didn't get rid of the feeling in his chest. But Izuku has realized for a while now, someone has been tailing him. Someone has been following him. But they always lose him in the forest. And they always lose him in the alleyways, since he was so good with blending in. Izuku had a feeling, he just had a feeling it was a hero. But he knew it was an underground hero, but who was it? What were their quirks? What was their identity? What would they do to bring him in? Will they hurt him so bad he won't be able to walk, kind of like he did to a few other villains? Will they hurt him, or will they take care of him? Izuku hated it. He hated not knowing or seeing someone, even though he knew he was being tailed. It felt like a bug on your back, and you could not reach it, even though it crawled all over. You just could never grab it or see it. So, Izuku tried to follow the person back, but they always disappeared. It was kind of similar to cat and mouse, but a bit different. Izuku wasn't running or being played by the cat. It more or less resembled two alpha wolves facing off against each other, trying to get a strike into the other, but the other wolf would jump out of the way just in the nick of time not to be caught. It was a sick game for both of them. Both dancing and weaving, trying to catch each other, trying to find each other's secrets, but never exceeding. Eraserhead, or Azawa Shota, felt the same. He hated not knowing who the vigilante was. He hated that he couldn't even get a glimpse of the person, only being able to see their back and a few times their mask, but never got to actually catch the damn villain, or vigilante. Vigilantes are different from villains, kind of. But he will also try to hide away from the vigilante. Both of them felt like it was a game, and both of them hated it. Both of them wanted to catch each other, but one wanted to catch and bring in the other, while the vigilante wanted to see who the person was. Curiosity and justice. So interesting. Both of them intertwined with each other, but yet so different. It was an interesting concept. Curiosity and justice. They don't sound close. They don't sound relatable. But they intertwine with each other like a beautiful melody. Now, Izuku, he had enough. He let out a loud hum that seems to vibrate in the air. Izuku had enough of playing this game. He wanted to know who the person was. And Izuku would catch them. And he did. His hum seems to reverberate throughout the air and throughout the area. His hum hits Eraserhead, and he could feel it. He could feel when his song was interrupted by some outside force. And he used that. He used his quirk, his telekinesis, to grab the man. When Izuku saw the white scarf and the yellow goggles, he quickly hid behind somewhere so his quirk wouldn't be erased. Over the time since he'd been on the streets with the homeless people, they always talked about Eraserhead. Eraserhead was a good guy, but was a bit brutal to vigilantes. Izuku was not too keen on getting his quirk erased. His quirk was everything, even though Izuku could fight practically quirkless at times. But Izuku hated feeling nothing, no power at all. He hated it. It felt terrible. It felt like he was drowning in ice water when he had no power. So Izuku hid and kept Eraserhead in the air. He made sure to tightly bound Eraserhead's scarf around him. Used his own equipment against him. Izuku spoke. He tried to make his voice sound deeper and older.
What do you want?
Izuku finally spoke as he let his back rest against the wall. It was quiet. So very quiet. But Eraserhead opened his mouth and spoke a question. Why are you doing this? And this will be the ending of part 7. I hope you guys like it. I'm going to run test 2 on what if Izuku was a ghost. I've been trying to test out those 2 what ifs. I have a really good feeling on the zombie one because I've been kind of hammering out the kinks for that one. So I might just make what if Izuku was a zombie, the Halloween special, and for Thanksgiving Thanksgiving special, what if Izuku was a ghost. I might just do that. But yeah. Ooh, I'm tired. So I hope you all have a good night or day. Toodaloo.